What's up, Tesla family? It's Ray J back with another video. And in this one, I want to break down what's happening with Tesla in the overall market very, very shortly. And I'm going to break down something very important about my schedule. Please note that I am not a financial planner, so take nothing I say as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please check out my Webull link. If you deposit any amount of money, you're guaranteed 12 free stocks. If you deposit $500, you're guaranteed 20 in total. And deposit $25,000 or more, and you're guaranteed 75. The offer ends very soon in just 20 days. Anyways, now let's talk about this. So Tesla's not looking too good. After the Robotaxi event, we got a big sell-off because Tesla did not really announce some kind of Model 2, which could be driven by a human, which would incorporate FSD. They didn't really announce that. Instead, they just had a Cybercab, which is still in itself amazing. It's very, very bullish news for Tesla's long term. I think the event went well. But the problem is, for the immediate term, this wasn't really enough to get investors to buy this thing back up. So as Tesla is dipping, there is still more downwards potential as we have that gap to fill down to about the 212 area. I think Tesla could dip a little bit lower. However, I'm still a big bull for Tesla's long term, and I think we will still surpass all-time highs late into next year, if not by early 2026. But next year is just a few months away, so it's not that long. It's not going to take that long for us to really see the share price run. Just be patient, guys. We'll let things pan out. Wait for interest rates to begin dropping, and you're going to be looking for something very beautiful for Tesla stock. But for now, we still remain a little bit more bearish, technically speaking. So I will talk more about the markets and Tesla in just a couple of minutes. I want to let everyone know one more thing about my schedule. So I'm in the process of moving to a new place. And in doing so, I'm going to be very, very busy for the next couple of days, possibly. So I will try my best to be back on Sunday to upload another video. I will most likely not be uploading a video for tomorrow. Tomorrow is Saturday, by the way, so I will not have a video for Saturday, most likely. I'll try to be back on Sunday. If not, I'll be back on Monday. So hopefully by Sunday, if not by Monday, I will be back. I will for sure be back on Monday. But I'm not too sure about Sunday. We'll have to see about that depending on how busy I am. But I'm just letting everyone know this because I've been very consistent these last couple of months, the last couple of years, if anything, posting videos almost every single day. So if you don't see a video from me on Saturday, don't panic, don't worry. I'm going to be very busy doing other things. I have to deal with them, and then once that's taken care of, I'll be back. Hopefully on Sunday I'll be back. If I'm also not back on Sunday, don't panic again. I'll be back on Monday for sure. Just know I'm very busy with the move, and that's going to take a lot of time and a lot of effort. So, with that being said, don't panic, guys. If I'm not available or if you don't see any videos from me for tomorrow and possibly even on Sunday, I'm not sure about Sunday. We'll have to see. Don't panic. It's going to be okay. All right. And then once the move is taken care of, starting by Monday for sure, everything will go back to normal. Maybe Sunday things will go back to normal, but for sure by Monday. Okay. Anyways, as far as Tesla goes, we're looking a little bit more bearish. We do have some catalysts that are worth mentioning. Next week, we just have a couple of Fed speakers, and then it's just Fed speakers throughout the week. But there's nothing else that's too crazy for the week. It's a very quiet data week. It's mainly just Fed speakers and minor pieces of data. For the options chain, there are a lot of options expiring on Friday. I think that we have a very important triple witching day. So there's going to be a lot of these puts, over 2.8 million of them, which is pretty significant. And then we'll have to see how things end up going from here. There's very, very few amounts of calls relative to puts. We have almost a 4.0 put to call ratio. It's very close to that, which is pretty crazy. So we'll see what that leads to. On top of that, I want to mention that as far as the options chain goes, for Monday, we have United Health Group, Citi, Bank of America, Charles Schwab, PNC, and Goldman Sachs. Lots of big earnings coming out for Tuesday before the market opens. And then for after close, it's pretty minor. Wednesday, we have more banks. We have Morgan Stanley on Wednesday. That's pretty important. And for Thursday, we have Netflix announcing their earnings, which is big for tech. And that's pretty much it. So we have a lot of important stocks that are announcing earnings next week. It's going to get even crazier the week after when we start to see the big bank earnings unfold. Besides that, the market's greedy. We're very close to extremes. Extreme greed is making up the majority of momentum. And the VIX is still on a bit of a downtrend. We'll see if we hold our 50 daily moving average or not. Tesla did a great job at their presentation. This is what the Cybercab looks like. It has two doors. They also have four wheels and no steering wheels, and they're supposed to be fully autonomous. Musk is saying this should be coming out before 2027 for production. That's a possibility, but just know his dates are not always the most accurate. And there's a lot of regulations that have to be met for that to happen. They have to get past a lot. But the thing about this is that as cool as this is, as big as the robotaxis are going to be, They didn't really announce a Model 2, excuse me, which would basically be like another model that's very simple, that incorporates not only human drivers but also like a mix of them and the robo taxi. But who knows, guys? I mean, there could be another EV that's more affordable that comes out. That's what a lot of investors were hoping for, a very affordable EV that could be driven very soon. And also, especially, would be like very available in like China. But we didn't really get that. So we just got this robo taxi. It's basically a cyber cab, not to mention the robo van. I think there's a picture right over here of the robo van as well. This is what it looks like. It looks pretty futuristic, very, very cool. Could hold like 20 people. So I can't wait to see Tesla develop this. We don't have as much information about the robo van and what it's going to look like on the inside. Well, not like we don't have as many things confirmed about that. Like when it comes to like other factors, the interface and things like that, and also when they're going to be producing it and such. We don't really have as many details about that. But this is going to be the main thing, so I can't wait to see what happens with the Cybercab. It looks pretty cool. It reminds me of the Cybertruck. It looks very futuristic. So we'll see how things end up going. But nonetheless, guys, despite these big developments and because investor uh, expectations were not really met, I think that it's possible Tesla rebounds early into next week, but there is a risk of us dipping a little bit more with the market back down to about 210. And then once we hit this like 210, 212 area, we could attempt to get a bounce closer to that range. For other factors out there, we have SPY. SPY's once again, it has a triple bearish divergence right over here. And one thing is that we also have a rising wedge. Now, that does not mean we're just going to crash tomorrow or next week. It does not guarantee that. The rising wedge could continue to develop for quite some time. As of right now, there's no sign of this playing out. So for now, we have a wedge. It's still developing, and we'll see what this leads to. Make sure you watch resistance around that 580 area. I think we might dip a little bit on Monday/Tuesday. We'll see a small dip back down to about 577.5. If not, 575 could be coming. But even if we come down to 575, we could try to bounce and get back up to about 580. So the high might not be in. And then on top of that, there's no sign of us losing the wedge. If we lose the wedge and start dumping, that's going to be a big sign of weakness. There's no sign of that yet. So we can't turn too bearish. For Nvda has tough resistance around this 135 area. If it breaks, we're looking for 137.5. If this rejects, we're looking for 131.87. We'll see which way we go from here. For Bitcoin, we're trying to rebound. We pushed very, very nicely to about this 63,000 area. If this rejects, we'll be dipping back down to about 61,592. Might be a dip on Bitcoin, so be very mindful of that. For others out there, we have NQ. NQ has kind of like a double top right here, forming a nice cup. We'll see if we end up breaking through this and start pushing back up towards the 20,750 area. If we end up losing 20,350, we're looking for a dip back down to 20,200. But with this cup forming, we'll see if we push higher. We could dip a little bit more to about 20,200. We'll see if we bounce. So give this as much time as necessary. Excuse me. For the QQQ, we could dip a little bit to about 490 to 488 in that range. Then we could bounce again, and we might try to break the highs from the last 2 weeks. Why? Because we still have this gap to fill. We have a bullish looking structure. This is looking like a double bottom like formation, and we look like we want to bounce higher. So this could still break out a little bit higher. Another indication of this would be the VIX. I think I have it right here. The VIX still has this gap to fill. I don't think we fully filled this gap, which signifies that even if the market dips a little bit, we could try to bounce once the VIX continues to fall another 1.5, and that could be indicative of more upside in the markets. For Apple, we're dipping a bit. We could be retesting 226. We'll see if we bounce off that or not. I anticipate 225 to be tested again. I think a little bit lower before it tries to rebound, but we're not officially bearish. We're just range bound on Apple. So how is the market looking? Technically, the market is bullish. Okay, for now, we have a rising wedge which could lead to downside, but there's no confirmation of us losing it yet. So if we do dip a little bit on Monday/Tuesday for a little bit of a liquidity grab, we could still try to bounce back up to all-time highs, and we'll see where the top ends up forming. We're not ready yet. We'll see about that. Tesla, on the other hand, looks a little bit weak after the big event, and there's bearish momentum that remains. Look for a rebound for the 220s going into early next week. We could still fall down to fill this gap to hit the 212 to 210 area. All right, so that's it for my updates. Thank you all so much for listening. I will be back maybe on Sunday, but for sure by Monday. So please don't panic if you don't see a video from me for tomorrow, and I'll see you guys very soon. Thank you all so much for listening. Enjoy the weekend, have fun, enjoy life, and peace out.